And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today on this Sunday. Welcome back, my people. It is that time of year again. And by that time of year, I mean it is the time of year where the Lakers lose and it's time to find the scapegoat. It's time to find excuses. It's time to find the GOAT, supposedly, more help. And if you guys have been watching sports shows and mainstream media, you know that this is exactly what's going on. They are blaming J.J. Redick, which rightfully so. J.J. Redick should get some blame for making lots of mistakes, not only during the playoffs, but, I mean, again, the guy's just a know-it-all. You can't tell him nothing. He's arrogant. He's smug. And, you know, he has no humility for someone who's in a position that he should not be in. They're blaming Austin Reeves, and Austin Reeves did not play the best game he possibly could. They're blaming Luka Doncic, which, you know, just a few weeks ago, they were praising Luka Doncic. You know, just a few weeks ago, everybody was Lakers in 5 and whatnot, and praising the streak that the Lakers had been on, and you know, saying that the Lakers are in finals contention and whatnot. This is what they were saying. And then the loss happens, and now it's back to Luka needs to lose some weight and learn how to play defense, which both are true. I believe if you are making that kind of money, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to the organization, and you owe it to the fans to be your best self. But as usual, the person who receives the least amount of blame, the least amount of responsibility, the least amount of accountability is the duck, the deer, the leader of the 4 and 6 kingdom, LeBron James. So, the title of this video, LeBron James just can't help himself. And there's two meanings to this. The first meaning is LeBron James just can't help but make excuses. He just can't help himself. The guy literally cannot help himself. If anyone asks him a question that opens up the door for an opportunity for LeBron James to make an excuse or place the blame away from himself, you best believe LeBron James is walking through that door and then he's going to make an excuse or place the blame somewhere else. But the other meaning is, through all this talk of LeBron James needing more help year after year after year after year after year after year after year, and for this to be completely accurate, I would have to say this 22 times because this is the amount of years LeBron James has played. For all the talk of LeBron James needing more help, the fact of the matter is LeBron James just can't help himself. LeBron James can't help himself. This is why LeBron James has 6 finals losses. This is why LeBron James is still chasing something that he actually could never catch. This GOAT argument is hopeless. Matter of fact, this GOAT argument sailed many, many years ago. I would argue that this GOAT case left the moment he left Cleveland. The moment he left Cleveland, he made a decision so egregious that, to me, you can't be the GOAT after that. You can't be the GOAT when you, as a so-called competitor, because at that point, to me, you have proven a lack of competitiveness to go join 2 other superstars. So to me, The moment you left Cleveland, you abandoned so many things with that. You abandoned your opportunity to actually do what the real GOAT did, and that was to take a losing franchise and turn it into a dynasty. And, you abandoned, actually maybe that's not the case. Maybe it's more like you just revealed who you actually were. When you left Cleveland, you revealed to the world who you actually are, and that's someone who abandoned the challenge and the obstacles. But LeBron James can't help himself. This is why we have this talk year after year after year after year. This is yet another reason why this guy should not ever be in the GOAT conversation, but also should not ever be mentioned with the greats. This is why LeBron James should definitively not be in the top 10, and you can make a case for much more than that. It's due to the fact that how can a so-called GOAT constantly need more help? This doesn't make sense. And this can't make sense to you LeBron James fanboys. How can someone who you think is the greatest player to ever play the game constantly have a narrative of needing more help? People who get the title of greatness, they get that title because they find a way to deliver no matter what. They find a way to do it. They figure it out. But LeBron James can't help himself. And there's many reasons why LeBron James keeps failing over and over again. Part of the reason is lack of proficiency on his own part. His self as a basketball player has too many holes in his game. From free throws to lack of a go-to move to lack of clutchness. These are all actual things that are deficiencies in his game. But you couple that with the fact that he tries to take shortcuts with the flopping. All of these things are part of it. But then you also have to couple that with the fact that LeBron James is not a good leader. And this is where we keep getting this no help narrative from. LeBron James has had every type of teammate that you could ever have in one career in basketball. He has had every type of teammate that you could have. But the problem is two problems. LeBron James never keeps the same core team together long enough to develop any true chemistry, any true trust between teammates. And LeBron James does not know how to get the best out of his teammates. He doesn't know how to hold his teammates accountable because he doesn't know how to hold himself accountable because he does not know how to admit his faults. The first step in solving a problem is admitting that you have one. Yeah, this is what type of video this is, LeBron James fanboys. The first step in solving a problem is admitting that you have one. And this is where LeBron James failed. This is where LeBron James' career has failed over and over again because he has failed himself. LeBron James, the only lack of help he has suffered from is the ability to help himself. You have to admit a problem before you can solve it. This is the difference between LeBron James and the rest of the greats. This is why LeBron James cannot be in the same sentence with the rest of the greats. Again, I was just watching Craig Hodges on the All the Smoke podcast, which I'll be doing some videos from that. But Craig Hodges had more stories because he helped coach Kobe Bryant as well as being a teammate of Michael Jordan. And his stories of Kobe constantly seeking information. This is where the thing that separates Kobe Bryant from LeBron James. And then this is why, again, to me, people, some people would like to say, oh, well, the more fair comparison is between Kobe and LeBron. No, LeBron James should not be mentioned in the same sentence with Kobe Bryant either. But this is the difference. It's Kobe's constant seeking of knowledge. Craig Hodges said that whenever I think, and I may not be remembering this exactly correctly, but I guess said him and Kobe went out to dinner or something, and it's like the first thing Kobe wanted to know was everything about Michael Jordan. And so this is Kobe's never-ending quest for knowledge about the game of basketball. But what it also is an admittance that you don't know everything. When you go to someone else for advice on something, when you go to someone else to get things to implement into your game, you are admitting that there are things you don't know. And by admitting that and being willing to go to other players for advice, that is how you grow. That is how you help yourself. LeBron James never wants to admit any kind of fault. When people in the post-game interview ask him about his age and that, was that a factor in him getting tired? He never wants to say, yeah, you know what? I'm 40 and I can't play the same way that I played at 28. Yes, I am LeBron James. Why does the whole world see? Why does the whole world notice the fact that you slow down, especially in fourth quarters? Now, this is outside of the fact that you're just not clutch in fourth quarters. That's a separate issue. But just your energy level in the fourth quarter, the whole world can see that it diminishes. But when you get up there, it's, I feel just like I did when I was 18. The tiredness is not a factor, because if I get up here and lie about it, then it's not real. As long as I'm delusional enough to keep lying about it, then that makes it not real. I don't get tired. I'm on PEDs. I do everything to take care of my body. PEDs. I spend $1 million a year on my body. PEDs. Allegedly. LeBron James never wants to admit any fault or any not just any fault, but never wants to admit anything wrong with what he does. Because I'm the greatest player in the world. He never wants to admit anything wrong with what he does. And this is the number one problem. This is why LeBron James has not progressed past since he's been in the league, really. I mean, people keep talking about him improving on his jump shot. And yeah, maybe this last year, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. Like, it took you 22 years to improve on a jump shot. But anyway, and then we're just talking about the lack of fundamentals. For somebody who's supposed to be a great, LeBron James is seriously lacking on some fundamental basketball in comparison to the other greats. He's seriously lacking in the fundamental aspects of the game. So again, you can't improve what you're not willing to admit. And LeBron James is a know-it-all. This is going to be J.J. Redick's downfall. And LeBron just got up there and capped for J.J. Redick on a post-game interview. I didn't play it during this video. But he got up there and capped for J.J. Redick and was like, yeah, Lakers, y'all got a good coach. And he, I think J.J. Redick made a good campaign for Rookie Coach of the Year or something, blah, blah, blah. He was, but what he really should have said is, yeah, J.J. Redick, he did everything I want to. He handled the Bronny situation just like that's the reason he was hired. It's because he was the only coach who was going to handle this Bronny situation with kid gloves, and he did that, and that one right there made me the GOAT. So yeah, this is a short video, but I just had to say that as we get into this, I'm sure all summer long, the talks are going to be, what's the Lakers going to do for LeBron James? You know, what kind of help are they going to get LeBron James and whatnot? And this is just getting ridiculous. Like I said, people who are in the conversation for the great, they are there because they figure it out. They're not there just because they happen to have the best teammates. And yeah, you know, you have people like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson who did have great teammates. But again, if you want to say that, you also have to take into consideration that LeBron James has manipulated his whole career. He's had whatever teammates he's wanted to have and couldn't get it done. So again, you know, hearing all this talk is just ridiculous at this point. It's like, at what point does people in mainstream media say, hold up, every year we're having this conversation about a guy who's supposedly at least number 2? This doesn't make any sense. Why don't we have these conversations about any other superstar? Why don't we have these conversations about Larry Bird Celtics? Oh, well, if Larry Bird would just had a little bit more help, he'd have about 6 championships. If Magic Johnson had some more help, he'd have 9. If Michael Jordan had more championships, more help, he'd have about 15 championships. He would have won a championship every single year he played. I mean, fanboys, you guys don't see how ridiculous this is? You guys don't see how ridiculous this is to have this conversation every year. Like, what kind of entitlement do you have to think that you're supposed to have the perfect scenario, and to also think that every time you don't win, it's because not because of you. It's because of some default with your lineup. It's because of a problem with your lineup. In other words, saying that, oh, well, if I just had the perfect lineup each year, then I would win every single year. Yes, you and every other NBA superstar that ever played the game since the beginning of the league. Winners are made by figuring it out. That's what real winners do. They figure it out. Winners are winners because they can admit their faults, and then they just work on their faults. When people were saying Michael Jordan didn't have the greatest jump shot when he first entered the league, he didn't combat that with saying, man, I'm the greatest jump shooter in the world. I'm the greatest jump shooter in the world. What are you talking about? No, he worked on the jump shot. When people had criticisms of other players, they couldn't just dismiss it because they're a know-it-all. They had to fix it. But somehow LeBron James is the exception to that rule. Somehow LeBron James is the guy who, anytime it doesn't go his way, it's not his fault. It's other circumstances. It's outside circumstances. It's the team. It's injuries. Not just to him, but to his teammates. Oh, well, we hadn't been healthy as a team, so what? You figure it out. If you want to win bad enough, you figure it out. But anyway, we gonna hold up here, people. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think of year 22 for LeBron James? Here we are again, people, with LeBron James needs more help, people. If he doesn't win, it is only because he needs more help. That could be the only reason why the leader of the 4-6 King would lose, is because he needs more help. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.